Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about cursors as a topic in Oracle PLSQL course, what we are discussing so far. So in this, basically we are going to cover implicit cursors, explicit cursors, and how to loop a cursor and parameterized cursor. All these topics we are going to discuss. But before jumping into cursors topic, like what is cursors basically? So cursor in Oracle to process multiple rows written by a select query, okay, SQL query. So without cursors handling more than one row at a time, cursor is the best option, I would say. So so what is the objective behind the cursor, like understanding the implicit and explicit cursor we are going to talk about, and when you use implicit cursors and what are the attributes you can make use of it, and how to loop and get the results, like all these things, and update data using cursors. Okay, in some scenarios when you want to update a cursors, you can lock the records and loop that record so that other session cannot do any modification during the course of the time. And write a clean, efficient cursor-based PLSQL program is effective. Even passing the data set through cursors also possible. That is advanced topic. But in this discussion, we are going to discuss very basics and beginners level understanding of the cursors topic. Okay. So what is cursor in the behind the scene it will do? So to give a quick one-liner, like cursor is like a pointer, like it holds the result set, the SQL query result set. It will be holding in a memory, and it's like a pointer. When you try to fetch the record from the address, the pointing, it will get record by record and it will fetch it, and once it is fetched, we can take the value from the address and make use of it for our purpose. And finally, once the cursor activity is done, we can close the cursors. So all these things we can do it. So when we talk about the implicit and explicit cursor is completely managed and managed by Oracle itself, like statement like select statement, insert, update, delete. Okay. Whereas explicit cursor is completely program driven. Okay, the developer going to manage it, that is you when you manage it. Okay, so let us quickly jump into different examples what you're going to talk about. Okay, so the very first example, implicit cursors. Okay, one single record, I'm going to retrieve it. So how it's going to behave it. Okay, let's jump in. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do, I'm defining a variable called v_name and v_salary for getting the first name and salary from the given record. Okay, for the employee ID 100, and I'm printing that information. So this is a single record information getting as a thing, like, but again, how to validate as a cursor attribute, like a different attribute I have mentioned, right, while explaining. So this is one of the attributes, like after updating a statement. This is the next example. Here what I'm trying to do, I'm increasing the salary to 500% for department 10 employees. Okay, after updating, I want to understand how many records have been affected. Okay, so that for that reason, like there are 4 type of attributes we can see for implicit cursor: row count, found, not found, list open. So one of the attributes I'm going to explain you in this example, that is called SQL % row count, like how many rows have been affected. You see that only one employee belongs to that department 10. That's why you are getting the updated information for this particular cursor as 1. Okay, then the third example will jump in. This is so far like with the quick understanding of implicit cursor, I gave an idea. Now let us jump into explicit cursor. So like I mentioned, explicit cursors, like the results will be stored in the memory area. From that memory area, using the pointer, we are going to retrieve record by record. Correct? So like I'm defining a static cursor here. This is called static cursor, line number 32. Here, this is the syntax you need to follow: cursor, the cursor name, and the is class you have to give it, then followed by the select query. Okay, this is going to hold the result set. Correct? I'm defining v_name and salary. Here the first most thing when you handle it, this particular fashion, the basic cursor handling here, we have to open the cursor from the static cursor whatever you have defined. Once it is open, the memory area will be created. Then you are going to loop it. While looping, you have to ensure that line number 42 you have to fetch the cursor. Okay, basically you are taking a two variable information, right, two column information, right? So the cursor will return, then you need to assign the local variable. That is the reason I have created 35 and 36 line number, correct? Once you fetch the results, we have to ensure that the cursor is out of records or not. Okay, so for that we are using the attribute called not found. We discussed just before, right, like different attribute. This is another attribute. So when the cursor is really running out of end of record, so the exit statement will be executed, and it will the loop will be completed. It will exit. So that time you can close the cursor to release the memory. Okay, the line number 44, what it will do, as long as the condition is false, it will run and generate the record. This is what going to happen. Let's try to understand by running this block. Okay, you see that? So and this is what the explicit cursor example, the basic example, opening, defining the cursor as a static cursor, defining the variable, and opening the cursor, looping the cursor, fetching it, and ensuring that the cursor is not cursor is end of result. If it is end of result, exiting and printing the record, and end of loop and close it if it is end of result. That's it, correct? Now let us jump into example 4. Here what we are so far, that is the basic model of using explicit cursor. Now we are using explicit for loop cursor. So unlike the earlier cursor, so you no need to define initialize the cursor, like it you can directly call in the loop itself, and you no need to define the cursor variable, the variable you no need to define it. And you can see in the inside the loop, I'm just straight away calling the cursor variable here. That's it. Okay, and its corresponding field name, I'm just calling it from the result set. So here I'm getting the results. Okay, then we are jumping into the parameter cases. It's almost similar to the example 3, but only difference is like we are passing the parameter for specific, like, okay, that's it. So here what it will do, when you're calling the cursor, so we are passing the parameter, and the parameter result set will be passed on to the cursor variable, and we can get the result. So this is the quick idea behind cursor and implicit cursor and explicit cursors with the examples. Hope this video is useful for you. If there is any questions, please feel free to reach me out, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching my video.